bringing us the newspaper headline segment. She brought you a cursory look at all the topical issues making the rounds on the front pages of the various newspapers. My name is ALORMASOR. I'm your anchor man for this segment of the show. This morning we have tabled a number of topics for discussion. I'd run you through them, but a reminder that, as usual, we are live from Asurizia number 48 Swanika Street in Abilingpe. In 46 other African countries, you can as well find us. In some parts of Europe and, of course, South America, we are live, loud, and clear. On the internet, you can connect with us at facebook.com/Pan-African Television, also youtube.com/Pan-African Television. The past few days, before I even get into what we would be discussing this morning, the past few days have been one of amazement, if I should put it that way, or if that's the right word to describe it. But Pan-African Television has been in the news because one of our very own Kwame Osudanso has been nominated as a flag bearer, or as the running mate, I beg your pardon, the running mate to Alan John Kuju-Chiromanteng, who is the flag bearer of the Alliance for Revolutionary Change in the upcoming polls. News that sent shockwaves across the Ghanaian political landscape. A lot of people have been sharing varied sentiments on this nomination, but we at Pan-African Television, we are glad about it. We are happy about it. Kudos to Kwame Osudanso on this colossal feat. And once again, it's going to be one of the issues, one of the topics that we'll be discussing. My panelists would also share their express opinion, their thoughts on this latest developments as far as the Afafranto movement, the butterfly movement, and Kwame Osudanso are concerned. Now to the issues that we'll be discussing this morning. KOD's nomination as Alan's running mate sends shockwaves across the country. Government sends police military to Galamsey sites. This story has been captured on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. Nanado asks parents to take their wards to private schools if they don't like his free senior high school policy. This is one of the topics that we shall be looking at as well. Very interesting. And then there's a story on the front page of the Inside newspaper that is the banner headline. It's a very important story that I'd also want us to look at. Mental health crisis looming as MHA reports alarming surge in suicide rates for 2024. Very disturbing, very, very disturbing. So, and I'm glad that on the show this morning we have a medical doctor. He will be helping us dissect this particular issue. So this morning I've been joined by Dr. Ramsey Inusa of the Movement for Change. Doc, good morning.
Good morning, bless. How do you do?
How do you do? It's strange that the connoisseurs of the English language would tell us that the appropriate response to how do you do is how do you do.
Exactly.
but it's been I mean, the past few days, especially for the movement for change, it's been one of historic, if I should put it. Honorable Alan John Kuju-Chiromanteng filing for the highest office of the land, the presidency, as flag bearer of the Alliance for Revolutionary Change, and the news about who his running mate was going to be. I'm sure this is something that even you did not see coming.
Good morning to you, Bless. And let me take this opportunity to say a very good morning to the good people of our beloved country, Ghana. And to our boss, Honorable Alan Kuju-Chiromanteng, and his running mate, Kwame Osudanso, Esquire. Bless. I must say that I am highly ebullient this morning. I mean, talking about this shocking news, right? We received a couple of days ago about the nomination of Kwame Osudanso Esquire as a running mate of Honorable Alan Kuju-Chiromanteng. And indeed, Honorable Alan Kuju-Chiromanteng has satisfied his promise to the Ghanaian people, especially the youthful people in Ghana that he was going to nominate a youthful person to take up the responsibility and the place of his running mate. And so clearly, bless, we have satisfied that. And this goes a long way to show that, indeed, he wants to change the narrative in Ghana's political landscape, that you don't need to have a name, right? When I say a name, I'm talking about family legacy before you can rise up to be vice president. And of course, we are not executing the so-called Ejapadier plan. So this clearly is an antidote to what the MPP establishment have created in their party. That you have to belong to a certain family before you rise. So Kwame Osudanso's case should be an inspiration to the millions of Ghanaian youths watching us or who have heard the news, that anybody who comes from a village, right? Any village boy can rise up to become a vice president in this country. Anybody from all walks of life, so far as you can meet the constitutional requirements and you have the credibility and the competence to be able to uphold such office, you have the chance to be there. And so clearly, this is an inspiration for all the young people. And this is a promise to the people and the Ghanaian youth that Honorable Alan Kojo Tramantin is going to be a transformational leader and a transitional leader who will transition the next leadership phase of this country and deliver it to we, the young ones coming up, so that we can be able to also contribute to national development and ensure that the youth of this country are well represented and our needs are met with all standards. So clearly, bless, I am happy. And I know that you are also very happy. Working with KOD all these years, I'm sure you're also very happy.
Deputizing him.
Yes.
As far as the morning show is concerned.
Yes.
And it appears now for a long time he's not going to be returning to this.
And let me say good morning to my senior most colleague, Honorable A.B. Fuseni. It's been a while, Honorable. Wa alaikum salam.
Alaji, Alaji, good morning.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure having you back on the show after about a month.
Yes.
If I'm not wrong.
Yes.
It's been about a month since we last had you on, but it's always a delight to have the old soldier back at the barracks.
Yes.
Alaji, I trust you're fine.
That no matter how disenchanted the old soldier is, you never shy away from the barracks. Pan-Africa is home.
Yeah.
And let me say a good morning to your good self, to my very brother, and comrade, the struggle. I admire his tenacity of purpose. And if you get young people who are motivated to not only working to enhance our democracy, but also to work for the supreme national interest, I think that is worthy of commendation. My regards to the viewers of Pan-Africa. I apologize unreservedly for this is the longest period I can remember that I've gone away. I've stayed away from this very glorious studios of Pan-Africa TV. I was unavoidably absent because I had to undertake there was a short course from Parliament that I had to honor as part of my parliamentary duties. And so that took the better part of some 3 weeks or more. When I came back, I had to go back to the constituency and others to also do some full work before I come back again. So I can tell you that Pan-Africa is home for us, and we'll never lose any opportunity to come here and espouse and do our duty to this nation. So I'd want to also greet the Brechina people of the Sanaro constituency, to whom I have always said that I owe an irreparable debt of gratitude, having gone there as a 3-term member of Parliament I cannot pay them back enough. But I'm sure they will be the first to also tell you that as a member of parliament, I've served them diligently to the best of my ability. And in terms of development, I can say we have witnessed unprecedented levels of development for the 12 years that I've been a member of parliament. And as a pace setter and the first member of parliament for the constituency, I can proudly say that the constituency is very well anchored in terms of development. So they are always at the prime of my mind.
I know. Alaji, you're one of the people who actually called me, I think 2 days ago, to confirm the rumors you had heard about our very own Kwame Osu-Danso being elevated to the honored position of running mate to no other person but Alan Chermanting, who we all agree is a giant when it comes to, politics of Ghana. I was shocked, even for me, who is here very close to him, sees him every day. I was shocked. I'm sure you were shocked as well.
Sure. First and foremost, there are two people. Let me also first congratulate Honorable Bernard Mona.
Yes, exactly. We have Pan-Africa Television has produced a flag bearer and a running mate. This show.
They say it is not the longevity of the chief that matters, but his deeds. Within the short period of the existence of Pan-Africa TV, the waves have already been made. The record has already been sunk. And I can say without any alter of doubt that when achievers on the media landscape are mentioned, Pan-Africa will take its pride of place. No wonder people even listen to Pan-Africa in many countries far flung from our own country here. And so the influence of Pan-Africa, when I come to Comrade Kwame's listen, I'm sure that it will come out very local. So let me congratulate Honorable Bernard Mona on his selection as the flag bearer of the People's National Convention, PNC. This is a young man who has paid his dues not only to the PNC, Bernard Mona has paid his dues to this country. He has been at the forefront of not only projecting, but putting his life on the line to protect the national interest of this country. He has entered into areas where people fear, are petrified to enter and to speak truth to power. He's done it on countless occasions, not just manifest in only demonstrations and others, but even venturing into public offices where he believes the wrong things are being done, to endeavor to register his point at those places. And so in this country, we need that level of committed people to stand up tall in defense of the national interest and to exhibit a fearless attitude. Plus, fearless attitude to speak truth to power and to ensure that at all material times, the native supreme interests and aspirations of our good people are protected. And so I was not surprised that the delegates of the PNC at their Congress last week, overwhelmingly, and take note, he did not win just the endorsement of the majority of his party members. It was a landslide. 1,100 and something,
Yes.
Against only
1,200 and something against 200 and something.
So it was a walloping.
Yeah.
A resounding mandate. In fact, his opponent who complained, the former member of parliament, Onowa Pasra, I would want to urge him to eat humble pie and accept defeat. You see, when the defeat is very close, you may have a case to make some allegations that it is possible somebody must have done some manipulation. You can, but when it is a landslide,
1,000, about 1,000 difference.
my brother, if you are going to wrestle with somebody and before even the whistle is blown, you are struggling on the ground with the first kick of your opponent. You don't need to continue the fight. It's over. And so clearly, I want to urge his opponent that in the supreme interest of the PNC, and he must still know that he was made a flag bearer of the party before.
Yes.
Okay? So the party had given him an opportunity to serve in that highest office. So if today the delegates of the party think otherwise and have conferred the mandate on somebody else, I think that he should be gracious enough. And like I said, it was not even a close fight.
Yeah.
It was a landslide, overwhelming endorsement. And so you should just eat humble pie, come back to the PNC, and let them work together. I have always said that I wish all of them would have come to join His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama for a more resounding mandate. I know that the good people of this country are going to give President Mahama that mandate to rescue this country. But it will be very good, and I wish him and the PNC well in this endeavor. He has actually paid his dues. Now, like you rightly pointed out, Kwame's, let me also congratulate now is Honorable Kwame Owusu Danso, Esquire, for his elevation to this high and important office. Before that, when you hear that there's an adoring, there's already a birth. If you don't have a birth, you cannot have an adoring of a baby. So clearly, it goes back first to the leader of the party, Honorable Alan Chiramanti. Very few people have the guts to say no to their parties when they think things are not going well. Of course, there are those who will be the first to say that it was after his unsuccessful bid to become the flag bearer of the MPP that he left. But there are people inside who, even after their unsuccessful bid, still remain ensconced in the party, even when there are issues for which they should stand up and fight. So the fact that he left the party because of certain issues that he believed the party was no longer committed to at the time that he joined the party, with the intention of contributing his quota to enhancing the democratic tenets and practices of good governance of the party. She arrived at the conclusion that the party has deviated widely from its original track and has had the courage not only to tear away, but to form a movement dedicated to change, dedicated to pronouncing an alternative route for this country. I think it's highly commendable, and I want to commend him for his perseverance in still going that route, and more importantly, coming out with the issues of trading of ideas. That's the good thing I like about his movement for change. They are proffering ideas, alternative ideas of making this country better. And so for me, that is the essence and the very basic tenets of democracy. It's the trade of ideas, out of which the best will be taken in the supreme interest of the country. And so I commend him. But the selection of Kwame, let me say without any item of that, came as a very big surprise to me. Surprise not because he doesn't deserve it. Not because he doesn't deserve it, but because at this material moment of the transformation of the butterfly fraternity, I did not have an inkling that he was from the very onset a committed member of the butterfly fraternity.
I can tell you.
I did not.
Yes.
If some other people knew, and at least I've been relatively close to Kwame, and I had not fathomed that exceptionally close relationship. So maybe it might have been one of the cards he held closely to his chest. I wouldn't know that. But I want to say that he richly deserves that appointment. Kwame has rendered more than 1.5 decades of selfless, dedicated, committed service to the public, to this country. First, if you look at maybe what people will see ordinary as qualifications, as a young man of just over 40, I'm sure he has just earned academic laurels in which not too many people of his age have been able to accomplish. And not only on Pan-Africa TV, but across many other fora, Kwame has been an eloquent champion of the oppressed, disadvantaged, and the underprivileged of this country. He has spoken to issues that are of supreme national interest. He has put the stock of knowledge and wisdom that he has gained to the service of this country by proferring issues and ideas which have the capacity to move this country forward, which have the capacity to point the way forward in very critical debates that he has indulged in. So if you look at it from the point of view of just even academic, social and other qualifications, I think that he's amply qualified to assume that role. And I was just wondering maybe how Mr. Kojo Alan Chamanting has managed to spot that talent and thinks that in this time and age, it's a good thing to bring in a young man of that vision, fortitude, character, commitment to the national cause, and determination to ensure that especially the youth of this country, to whom the future of this country belongs, have a pride of place in his campaign. So I see it as a signal to the youth that it thinks that Kwame can bring on board the youth to help in that campaign. And I want to, there are many accolades I could pour at the risk of sounding sycophantic. I just want to say that he has also, like Bernard Mona before that has said, Kwame is a young man of immense potential that has the capacity not only to contribute to the campaign of the Afra-Franto. Sometimes I don't like pronouncing it because
you have to say it like man. How do you say it? How do you say it?
Campiao.
Campia.
Campiao.
Campia.
The Campiao fraternity. But also to the political discourse that we currently have, and ultimately also in the run-up to the campaign for the December 7th, 2024 elections. I want to wish him well. I want to wish the Afra-Franto family, the Campiao family well. But like I said, I wish they could have also joined to ensure that the one who has shown character, trust, experience, and I have said it before, the problems that this country is facing, and the choice of a leader that we need to bring is not going to be based on experiment. We need experience. Somebody who has gone through the mill, has seen it all, and has a capacity to come back and rescue this country. And that is undoubtedly His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. I wish there will be opportunities, especially for those of us in the opposition as alternatives. We nevertheless, not in spite of our campaigns that are going on, find sufficient room and ground to cooperate. Because I want to say it without any iota of doubt. Bless. If Ghanaians make a mistake, God, Allah Almighty, today is Friday, Allah Almighty, we are praying to you. All the sins we have committed in this country, we pray for you to forgive us. And not inflict another punishment on us by bringing the MPP and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia back to power. This would be the worst punishment possible that would have been inflicted on us as Ghanaians. And so I pray that notwithstanding whatever differences and paths that we choose to prosecute our campaigns, we should be mindful that at the end of the day, the rescuing of our country, the liberation of the long-suffering Ghanaian people today who are crying with endless tears, will see that rescue plan and that rescue path in the December 7th, 2024 elections, so that the national interest will supersede whatever interest we have as political parties with our differences and our aspirations that we have, which ultimately has propelled us to form political parties or as independent entities.
Yeah.
To this end. My only other worry is the number of personalities readily thrown into the field as presidential candidates.
But you shouldn't be surprised.
Without come again.
You shouldn't be surprised when you have a failed president.
Yes,
like
yes.
that
I'm just.
Yes. You shouldn't be surprised.
You are removing the meat from my mouth. Because see, people are beginning to think that our politics is so cheap that anybody with even untested credentials can become president. Anybody who can just line up a plethora of empty utopian promises, some of which are never meant to be kept anyway. It's just to hoodwink the people and ride on their backs to power and inflict unprecedented hardship and suffering on them. It's the basis for ascending to political authority. So, no wonder. At the last count, I heard it's 14 or so.
22 now.
22.
22.
Interesting.
Okay, at least officially today is the closing day. Maybe some other people may still fight, but I heard yesterday. That was yesterday.
14,
that I heard that it was 14.
14.
I don't know what will happen today. So if your 22 actually materializes,
it's an issue.
I would believe that that
It's
would be the
Yeah.
biggest parade of presidential candidates ever in the history of our country. I'm wondering how the ballot paper will look like. I'm sure that
Nigeria had, I think, 75.
yeah, so I'm sure that that would just mean that even if you are going to vote, you have to volunteer to get somebody to hold the ballot paper for you. Long sugar you drag on the ground. But for me, notwithstanding the fact that there are people who think that a democracy is richer when more people participate, you are talking principally blessed about really some who, for me, in all honesty, I don't intend to impugn the integrity of anybody, but for some who are more or less just jokers, without any malice intended for anybody. Because I'm sure that if there was a way of actually putting some people to task to find out whether the criteria for this thing should not be put higher, so that we have lesser numbers. I'm not saying that the Constitution does not allow anybody who qualifies to contest. It does, but if we don't develop a criteria, and assuming it goes to the 22, he said today, by the next election, if we are not careful, we'll go to 45, and the floodgates will be open, and the criteria and the standards will be so low that unprecedented numbers would flood the political stream, and the quality will be adversely impacted. Right. So I think that this is a very important national exercise that we have, and that is why I also want to land on this note that the Electoral Commission, notwithstanding the fact that the Constitution of this republic grants the Commission the independence, as far as they are pursuing their legitimate duties, they have a bounden duty to listen. When they listen and they take on board constructive ideas, it it is going to inure to the better transformation of our democratic process. More often than not, sadly, though, this electoral commission sometimes is impervious to reason and impervious to not amenable to rational persuasion. There are times people come up with issues and they are the first to go out publicly, either to go and deny or denounce those who are making those pronouncements. And we are better, listen, in the NDC. I remember, for instance, there are so many I can count, but coming just to recent times, when we first said that some biometric equipment had been stolen or missing, they came out and condemned us in the NDC that were spreading fear and panic, were spreading falsehood, and that no such thing had occurred. Bless. They condemned us in the NDC for bringing those issues out. And not long after that, they had to eat humble pie and admit that the issues that we have brought were actually true. Look at such an embarrassing spectacle. When we said that in the recent one about this voters register, that deliberate acts of criminality have been committed by some electoral officers, enforcibly removing the names of some people on the register and taking them to constituencies that they didn't belong to. Notwithstanding the fact that even if you are seeking transfer, you have to show physically. No such physical presence. They went and did got voter ID cards of people and used their decision to forcibly transfer them. This is a brazen criminal act. Initially, the Electoral Commission denied. That together, not only in my constituency in Sadaru and Tamale South, but the names of other people which were denied. Today, they came back to accept those things and to even say that they are sanctioning the Pusiga district director of elections, and that it is solely his act of criminality that resulted in the transfer of the people. The Pusiga district electoral officer should not have access to the national data. In fact, he cannot go into the data of other constituencies. So he could not have gone into the data of Sangargu and Tamale South. It had to take a higher intervention at the IT, at the headquarters. So currently, those things that we are asking that the Electoral Commission to do, for which it has remained impervious to reason, even notwithstanding the fact that they have shamefully come back to accept even some of the things that we have said, does not bode well for a free and fair election. A free and fair election is predicated and anchored on a credible, valid voters register. So if you have a fraud voters register and attempts are being made, information is being procured and given to you, you should be diligent enough to accept it. We had to move, no mean a person than the national chairman of our party, with his retinue of national executives and others, went to the Electoral Commission. We did not just sit at our party office and others to make those claims. We went to the Electoral Commission to give them those things to act on and to call for a forensic audit.
You've not given them anything for the records.
It's not true.
Yesterday, they held the
It's not true.
Not giving them
we are telling you that it's not true.
Talking.
It's not true. Because this is a letter
They are talking.
So I'm just, how did they, let me ask you.
Giving them a signal.
Okay, let me ask you a question. How did they get the book? How did wait.
No, yes, but
I'll come in. Let me ask you a question.
He says they are waiting for
Bless. If you are not giving them anything, how did they arrive at the conclusion that their officer at we brought the thing to the Electoral Commission?
No, you said it.
We gave it to them. So you see, that you are already beaten a retreat. We gave it to them.
You said something.
We gave it to them.
I promise. After
we gave it to them. Okay, they are asking us that we have made some decisions about 50,000 people on the and we are saying that look, we have asked you. You can be a referee in your own match.
NDC on some platform.
Okay,
seriously.
you cannot be blessed. You cannot be a referee in your own match. And like we have said, when we started this thing, they told us that the register was clean. and that there was nothing wrong with the register. And when we brought the issue and Pusiga and all this came out,
You are not.
they were
You were beating us.
You see?
For saying there were problems with them.
And don't forget, in 2016, we had even a justice of the court. You made a demand for 2012 and 2016. This same MPP, they made a demand for forensic audit, and it was acceded to. It was acceded. A justice of the court.
Yes.
I forgot his name. Justice Club. Justice Club.
They did something, but
okay.
it wasn't
Justice Club was appointed to superintend a forensic audit of the Electoral Commission register.
forensic audit.
Okay. Both in 2012 and 2016.
There was some.
Why is the MPP
Forensic.
in a hurry always to defend the Electoral Commission? It's because they are beneficiaries of the criminal acts. They are beneficiaries of the criminal acts that the Electoral Commission intends to do. Okay, so that is why we are saying in clear language that you cannot be a referee in your own match.
20 minutes each, right?
No.
I've been sitting here for more than, it's like a monologue.
Since you came, you have not been 20 minutes.
It's like a monologue.
You just came in now.
I'll come to you. I'll come to you.
So clearly, I'm just ending on that note. This demonstration that we are going on would have been unnecessary if the Electoral Commission was not so impervious to reason. And you ask yourself, why will an Electoral Commission that is interested in a credible voters register not open up? Why would you cause the Electoral Commission to allow a forensic audit? It has been done before. This is not as if this is the first time we are asking for forensic audit. It has been done before. And like I told you, the 2012-2016 registers were subject to forensic audits.
No.
Okay,
no.
They have been done.
2012 was.
Yes,
Some committee
of course. So this is not the first time.
Yes.
This is not the first time. So it's not as if the NDC is making an outlandish call.
No,
that call has been predicated on the fact that it had been done before. And so let's even assume that it had not been done before, and the Electoral Commission says that look, this will be helpful to getting us to get a clean register.
There's a way to do it.
Why would they not accede to the demand for a forensic audit?
No.
Right, Alaji, thank you, Alaji. If you, no, it's not true.
We miss you.
If you're just joining us, this is the morning show. This is Good Morning Africa. This is the newspaper review segment of the show. My guests are seated. There are a number of topics that we are discussing. But Mr. George, you see, is the public relations officer for the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO. And good morning, Mr. AC.
Yeah, good morning, Bless.
You have to interject, but I mean,
I was supplying information. There was some misinformation.
Which is not you have to cure it.
Yes, I had to cure it before it escalates.
If you cannot win a fight, if you cannot win the argument, convert it into a fight.
I didn't fight. I can't fight my mentor. I can't fight my mentor.
It is the elephant fatality. When they think that you are making very bad questions.
But Mr. AC,
I told you when it comes to international relations,
of course, he's the champion. Yeah.
Yes. Every time I don't buy graphic, I need to read.
But Mr. AC, Kwame will sit down. So.
Oh, fantastic. But unfortunately, do you know what? Good morning to you. Good morning to my colleagues, Dr. Ramsey, Honorable A.B.A. Fuseni. Good morning to our viewers across the African continent. You see, for a distinguished citizen like Alan Chematin to cast his mind around and settle on a young person, okay, and say, you, that young person, you come and be my running mates. Bless, it's an honor. It's a real honor. It's not easy, you know. It means the person has seen something in you. And not just come and follow me. There's the possibility of him becoming the president of Ghana once he's in the race. What it means is that there's a full possibility that Kwame, the young man, is likely to be the vice president of this country. That is an honor, okay? And I'm grateful that Alan settled on no other person but our own morning show host Kwame Owusu-Danso. And as Honorable ABA Fuseni said, he's been involved in a lot of things. In fact, last time we were here, we spoke about the accountable, something that he's championing on the issues of auditing the
13th All-African Games. Yeah.
So it's something he's acquitted himself very well, and he knows what he's up to, and he has the persistent spirit, the determined spirit to achieve a set goal and objective that he sets his mind and eyes on. And that's what endears him to me, and I'm happy that such an individual, young as he is been brought to the forefront of national political discourse. Okay, it's a privilege and it's a prestige to be on one of the key people on our ballot. Dr. Ramsey says he's around 22. We are looking at, so if of these 22 people who are going to run, Kwame is one of the key people who is a possible vice president of the land. I say congratulations to him. It's an honor done him and his family. It's a lot of respect. In fact, it adds extensively to his CV.
Yeah.
Extensively to his CV. Yeah. And because he's a young man, it shows you that, you know, the sky is the limit for the young man. I wish him well. However, Kwame, forgive me, lawyer. Much ado about nothing. Much ado about nothing. Alan Chematin is not flying. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. And
who is flying? The
He has
NPP?
only one vote. So
Dr. Baumia is the deal. The
He
real
has only
deal.
one vote. So what are you talking
Dr.
about?
Baumia is the real deal. This election, mark it on the wall. Dr. Baumia is
It's the real deal.
it's a done deal.
Baumia
You know
is-
what?
who is the
Now let's
in the
come.
market?
Alan left because he was afraid he was going to lose miserably
That
in
is-
the main one, and then
That is a
to
lie.
pursue his selfish ambition.
That is a lie.
He saw that there was no way what President Akufo-Addo said at University of Ghana, a Congress in 2007, that Alan, you come after me. Kufuor said the same thing to Akufo-Addo. Okay, in 1998. Kufuor said the same thing to Akufo-Addo. But the same Kufuor, it was alleged, was supporting another candidate against Akufo-Addo. True or false? True or false? Meanwhile, he has said that, right? But it means you must work extra hard. Akufo-Addo didn't go to sleep, counting on that statement that you come after me. He had to work.
That is a
You
lie.
get it? He had to work.
Alan.
Went to sleep. That they said he was going to come after Nana, so it was a done deal. He didn't need to do any. And a young, brilliant, intelligent man, technocrat who became a darling politician, gave him the shock of his life, knockout. Nothing good comes on a platter of gold, silver platter. You need to work for it. And when he saw that, he had to run with his tail in between his legs to go and form a movement. Okay? But look, that movement is not going to do anything. And so that's the. But I'm happy he settled on one of our own people, Kwame Owusu-Danso, a brilliant young man with a vision. Now we talked about, Honorable talked about promises and whatever. I say, oh, is that it? Did President Mahama promise assemblymen in Ghana in 2012 that he was going to pay them salaries when he won the elections? Did he win 2012? Yes. Did he pay any assemblyman any salary? No. He promised teachers that any teacher, take their manifesto, he's in there. Any teacher who accepted posting to a rural community, I've gone to teach in a typical hamlet in the Sehi Akontombra circuit. Typical hamlet. Manukrum, you get to Brony Krum, then start walking. You pass a Brony here, Brony Krum, get down, walk through the cocoa farms and forests to my holy village. Nothing. You get it? He didn't do it. And talk about the one-time premium scam that they did to us. I see the 24-hour akin to that one-time premium scam. Okay, that is there. So is he talking? Is that what he's talking about? And let me touch on what I interjected. The Electoral Commission of Ghana. Last week I was with Fred Agbenyon. Is it this week or on your sister station? Okay,
you can mention the station.
Yeah, well, on TV3. Okay, and then I commended the NDC for identifying the challenges they said they saw, like the Ejumaku one, the Sanerugu, his own place, and then Tamale, and the Pusiga thing. People from Sanerugu were moved to Pusiga without their knowledge. Okay? Those things, the EC also exhibit. What is the essence of the exhibition of register? To identify some of these things. Okay? And so when they did identify them, you bring it to the attention of the EC. We also identify some things. We didn't come out to make noise. We wrote it to the Electoral Commission. Okay? And so when you identify and write and they don't act on it, that's when then you come public and then push your issues. But the NDC just saw, giddy, giddy, giddy. Then the EC says, these things can be rectified. We are happy you brought it to our attention. In fact, why I commended the NDC was when they notified the EC didn't sleep. They went into it. That what the NDC is talking, is it true? They saw that, yes, some were true. Okay? But they can be rectified. Okay? And so they have done, they've rectified them. And if they are, but my brother and classmate, Dr. Tanko, they are deputy director of this thing. They are deputy director of IT, no, elections. Yes, okay, IT and elections has now been combined for them. You know, he said he still is not satisfied with the step. So the EC says, okay, bring whatever you have found, bring it to us. Let's see how we can. In fact, they met them, you know that. They didn't give them anything. Dr. Omani Buama, National Chairman, all of them went and met EC. They didn't give them anything. Yesterday, the EC had a press conference that the NDC said A, B, C, D. They are still waiting to receive the thing.
But is there an admission from the EC that there are some
yes, they admitted. Yes, they admitted.
Anomalies and
In
discrepancies?
their first press conference, they admitted it.
So which notification was brought to them by the NDC, or is that not so?
Yeah, the NDC raised the issues.
Yes.
And then they say, okay, let's look at it. Because the NDC, Ejumaku did a press conference.
Yes.
Then the issue of Sanerugu, Pusiga, and Co. In fact, they've suspended their Pusiga director. You get it? So those are the issues. So they went in to do the checks and they realized, oh, okay. But they say they still are not satisfied. So the EC says, if you still are not satisfied, then give us whatever thing you still have so that we can correct them. They say no. They met them. They met them. No. Write it down. Write it down. You get it?
You see, you hear that you suggest me to correct something.
Right.
Because the EC cannot be a judge in his own case.
No, don't worry.
We cannot.
There's a platform. I've said it. I said it on the other platform that, look, the NDC can trigger emergency IPAC meeting. And it should be adhered to. Okay? So call an IPAC. We have civil society organizations. We have distinguished individuals, and then we have the religious bodies. All of them are there. CSOs and all, they are there. And the political parties are there.
Under this, you see, they have rendered IPAC useless.
No, it is not.
IPAC has become a just editing to communicate.
It's not.
They don't take IPAC seriously.
Allow him.
Good. So trigger that and let EC say we will not call that emergency. They cannot. They don't even have the power. They can call that. You get it. So you get it. You get it. So trigger that. You get it. Because we have done these things before. We have triggered those things. In fact, the hypocrisy of the NDC is what we need to expose. In 2015, the Supreme Court of the law, Abu Ramadan versus the Electoral Commission, gave a ruling that the National Health Insurance card cannot be a source document for anyone to use to prove and authenticate his citizenship, because foreigners have it. Everybody, because for health issues. So if you are in a foreign country, you need to have it, and then, you know, when we travel temporarily, you can access it for the short period that you are there, and then you use it for your medical issues. So it cannot be a basis to prove that you are a citizen. Then the Supreme Court asked the EC, do you have a means to expunge about 500,000 people okay, from the register, they said yes. And the Charlotte said, Supreme Court said, go and do it. They went and did it, and after that, people were still coming and saying, well, we are still on. We use this as our source document. We talked about it. They said, no, we didn't let my vote count. The Honorable ABA Fuseni led the team, and they beat us.
Oh, I led the team to beat you. This is a matter of public record, though, please. You mean I led the team to beat you?
Yes, you're NDC. You are your NDC.
Never, no NDC person beat anybody.
On the police, you
it is a matter of public record. No NDC person led anybody to beat.
Don't worry. You under your administration.
Do you know how many times the police have beaten our police have beaten our people under your aegis? Not only beating, kill people. Eight people under your aegis were killed.
One young guy was. It's not easy.
You see, people have lost their lives.
All this with Supreme Court ruling, the NDC and EC then said they will minus. Bless. Did you have we were calling for a new register, okay? And this court, they said no. They beat us. They said we'll use that register for 2016. We did. In fact, when they lost, they went to opposition. They still insisted that in 2020, we should use the same register.
I want to ask you a question.
Ask me, insisted? That's why I'm here.
Who insisted? Is it the NDC that insisted, or the Electoral Commission that insisted? It appears that now we do not have any problem with politicizing the Electoral Commission. Because if you are saying that they did not, is it the NDC that did not allow you, or the Electoral Commission that did not allow you? That's the question I'm asking you.
General Mosquito openly said the what we are calling for will not come on.
And the NDC and the NDC
said yes, they won't do it. Charlotte said minus. That's why you see when they were in power. You get it? They said it will not happen.
Okay, so now that you're also in power, you also
we haven't said anything. We have identified something.
Okay.
The EC quickly went to action. Okay, and saw some of the anomalies and rectified them. But you say no, they are still challenged. Then they say, okay, what we have seen, we have corrected them. But you still insist there are more. Bring them, let's work it out together. Up to now, you are not sending any.
You see?
Write it. I was writing.
There are other issues that we need to attend to.
Yeah, no.
For the next topic, Interestingly, anytime you are on with the EC, I'm not on the show, but I've heard. Yes, but I have heard that it's always been fire. That fire, we are quenching it today. I'm sorry.
No, but bless.
Let him proceed.
Honorable said EC should listen to whatever. To what? Propaganda or what? That's why I say send the thing. Send the defects you have discovered. Send it to them. Is it not a clean register that you want? You've identified problem. Look, I was with Fred Agmanyo on that TV. Do you know one thing I said? I said, EC, some of the things that the NDC has identified, which you have admitted are dangerous for the cohesion of our nation. Example, which Fred brought out, was that people from his constituency, Sanerugu, have been transferred to Pusiga without their knowledge. Yes. 38 people. Sanerugu and Tamale. You get it? Now, they love ABA. They go to vote for ABA and their names are not there. You know the pain, the anger and co. It doesn't portend well for our election process. So if I have done transfer before, okay, you must be there in person. Now when you go to Bless, do you know what? The EC asks for your water bill and electricity bills to authenticate the address you are giving them that indeed you are there. You get it? That before they will do the transfer for you. So there's a thorough process that the Electoral Commission goes through, meticulously detailed. Okay? So just use that process. There may be error. There are human issue. We are talking 17, almost 18 million people on the register, and you say there will not be any error. There will. But that's why they exhibit the register. Go and do the corrections.
Right.
Once you identified it. So, let's rounding up on this one.
Right.
I think the NDC should cooperate with the EC. We all want a clean. The president
Or the EC should cooperate with the NDC.
No, the EC is an independent body.
Right.
You get it. You've identified infractions relating to their work.
Right.
So if you must cooperate with them. Go to them. They say bring it. If they had shut the door on your face, that's different. But they say bring no. They invited you, let them.
No,
they say bring your things. You get no. Ask for they say they won't do that. That doesn't mean there's no avenue to correct the errors. There's avenue to correct the errors.
I'll come to you. Don't worry. Right.
No,
Thank you very much.
I don't know what
if you are Mr. AC, kindly, Mr. AC,
so you should tell me
if you're just joining us, this is the newspaper review segment of Good Morning Africa. We just exhausted our first topic. I did not add Electoral Commission. Any topic in relation to the EC for today's discussion. So I'm surprised that majority of this morning's conversation has been related to the EC. We'll move away from that. The other issues that we have tabled for today's discussion. If I give you time, you have 10 minutes and you want to use your 10 minutes to talk about the Electoral Commission. I don't have any problem with that. But we have just 47 minutes to close the show. We have a number of topics, very important topics that we need to discuss. But we'll move away from conversations about the movement for change. Kwame Oso-Danso, of course, my boss, who has been so highly elevated, would go on to Galamsey. There have been very interesting developments with regards to the fight against this canker, especially over the last 2 weeks. It appears that all of a sudden, people have become so very conscious about the devastation that Galamsey is causing. Yes, it has always been there. We've always spoken about it, but you can admit that, or we can say that the past 2 weeks, it appears that it has generated a lot of heat. A lot of people have been talking about it. People, to the very extent that people are asking for a state of emergency to be declared. But of course, we know the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources has come out to say that would be too draconian to declare a state of emergency. But we are looking at our water bodies. We are looking at the devastation that Galamsey has caused. The Ghana Water Company Limited is unable to supply water to the maximum capacity. I think production has reduced in excess of some 30%. They are doing 40% now. There are some areas in the central region, western region. These are places that Mr. George Yisi knows very well, and some of his relatives there would have to make do without having water for some time. It's a big issue, but it appears that we have oftentimes paid lip service to the fight against Galamsey. We say everything that we want to say. We know the devastation it is causing, but to fight it is another conversation on its own. You understand? So, Mr. Issei, I'm starting this conversation with you, and it appears that this Galamsey conversation again that has arisen is eventually going to be much ado about nothing from where I sit, especially when we have the very people who are telling us that, we have to fight it, so neck deep in it.
Which people are those people?
The records are there.
Yesterday, I listened to somebody from the small-scale miners. His assertion is that a certain group deliberately bring people from foreigners in to do those things.
Okay.
And to discredit government.
Okay. I want to ask you a question. No.
Small-scale mining.
No, I want to ask you a question.
Because people are calling for the ban.
Yes.
And I'm one of those people.
Mr. Issei, I want to ask you a question. How does somebody just get up from their country and the person comes to Ghana and then nobody aids them to get the permit to mine anywhere, and then they go there and then destroy our water bodies? How does that happen? is it not also somebody at the helm of affairs aiding in that act?
Guarantee their safety.
People, we have illegal migrants all over.
Okay.
Don't we?
Why do we let
We have
illegal?
illegal
Why do we let them? And what
Even
processes?
in the United States, they have illegal
Fine,
migrants.
I do agree.
So what are we talking about?
I do agree. But are we saying that we do not see these people coming? Don't we see these people coming?
You may not see them.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I understand there are some
Operation
places
Halt?
in the western region and called Chinatowns, Ashanti region. There are places we call Chinatown.
Operation Halt.
People.
Operation Galamsey?
Yes, Galamsey.
It doesn't see all these people.
300
No,
million.
It doesn't see all these people. They don't see all these people.
They don't see which people.
They don't see all these people who you are alleging that come from somewhere to come and then.
Yes, there are foreigners all over.
You
the
heard
place.
President Trump
We saw the Chinese people
said that
all
they're
over.
eating their dogs.
Yeah, we get it. We saw the Chinese people. The Chinese people are here. In fact, some places they have guns, pump action guns and co.
What impunity?
To protect, yes, with impunity, to protect their minds.
What is the military doing about it? The same military that
No,
was dispatched
So,
to go there and then address this issue. What are they doing about it?
Yes, let me work on it. Thank you. We did Operation Hearts, Galam Stop, and all that. And we saw the challenges. In fact, we, the MPP, if you like, check the data and the stats. Most of the mining areas are our strongholds. In fact, when I was contesting for the Central Regional Secretary in 2018, I got to places and the questions they were asking me was about, especially in the Dentra area. You know, there's mining there seriously. That's their mainstay.
That is where Major Mahama met his tragic end.
Yes, you get it. So it is a critical point. And I tell you, we lost one of the constituencies there. That's Dentra West. We lost it. And we lost a critical constituency, Prestia Huni Valley. Barbara T. Jesse, one of the finest MPs. We lost that seat. We nearly lost Takwanshiayem Rekuduka. All because of our persistent fight against Galamsey. Bless the sad aspect. When you, the media, religious bodies, civil society, all of you, back Nanado to fight this. President Mahama was going round telling the whole nation that he will release people who have been arrested and sentenced to jail.
Was that not predicated on the fact that somebody had actually also engaged in it and then the person was allowed to go scot-free?
Who was that?
Foreigners.
Yes, I mean foreigners. Yes.
Well, why is it predicated on that? Is it not the law of the land?
Listen, I don't speak for the NDC.
Yeah.
But when I hear people who make
It's just taking it out of context to say
You should say don't worry, I'll ask the question. You should say don't worry, I'll ask the necessary question.
Dr.
Ramsey. Proceed, Mr. Isi, proceed.
Why are you here?
Proceed, Mr. Isi.
You've been brought here to make your submission. So take your notes.
Don't worry, I'll ask the questions.
Yes, you do ask your question.
Yes.
Did he say it or he didn't say it? As to whether it will bring, they should go arrest the big people, that's inconsequential. Did he say it? His own man, Kwaku Buahin, then Deputy Director of Communications for the NDC, was in the mining pit with a distinguished citizen of the land, Tony Obi, one of the people I respect so much, telling people at the pit that vote against the MPP. When we come, we'll let you go back and do your work. How do you succeed in the face of this? There's not a united front to fight that, because, take note, in 2013 and cold, the NDC decided to fight it. Mama Yarega, Inusa Fuseni, Mama Environment Minister, Inusa Fuseni Lands Minister. They gave up. In fact, they called a press conference and ran away from the fight. Because when they went to even one of the districts, they arrested people. That's what they are saying. They arrested people, and the people took them to one of the big guys. And when they got there under the table, some 2 billion OCDs was there.
You saw it.
Samuel Sarpong was angry. He was then the Central Regional Minister. Minister Hussein, you know him, a very principled man. He was so angry. You get it? And after that, they saw that no, the fight is going to be difficult. Bless. This fight, if we politicize it, it's going to be a problem. And you know why? Because you know now it's back again. Is it not election time? You get it? You see, election time. So people feel, hey, let's bring this thing. But the truth is that it's causing devastation. When I was going to Takrade last time for our manifesto launch, Big Postu Bridge, I saw it. I went to Onkobra, bad. The Pra River. The Brem River in Chebi, when I was in sixth form, lower upper six, we go to the Brem to drink direct. We fetch it and go. Today, you cannot go there and take any water. When you go to the fire, you can't fetch Brem. You get it? So it is destroying our water bodies. The Director General of Ghana Water Company, Dr. Clifford Bryman, has said that he wants there to be a special ops unit of the Ghana Army and Police so that they protect the water bodies exclusively under the auspices maybe of the Ghana Water Resources Commission. Okay? We have the Forestry Commission. They have their gas and coal to protect the forest, but still there's penetration into our forest reserves and coal. So it is time we take. Nanado was firm on it. In fact, people talk about he put his presidency on the line. That is true. And the way he was fighting it, Ghanaians trusted the process and renewed his mandate in 2020. Otherwise, he would have lost by fighting. But we paid the price anyway. We lost key areas. It's part of the reason our votes reduced margin by over 500,000. Okay? Because of these Galamsey. And those mining areas are our strongholds. Ashanti, Central, Western, and Western North. Those places are our strongholds. Okay? I mean the mining areas. But we had to do this to our own people and we paid the price. Going forward, Dr. Baumia, this government even started the gold catcher concept because people, apart from the water bodies being destroyed, there's diseases that come with them. In fact, a Central Regional Hospital reported cases of deformities and, kidney infections and cold because of the mercury that is in the water bodies that the people drink. You get it? And a lot of deformed children are being born and all that. So these are issues that we need to look at. Going forward, we are bringing the concept of gold catchers and go, and then getting proper way of Ghana Geological Survey Authority to identify the places where the golds are, so that we will not continue this try and error process of mining. And then we have a bank to support the small-scale mining, who are legitimate bodies to do that. But in between time, I think to save our water, all of us should agree. So that when we started, we placed the ban on small-scale mining. You remember that? And at that time, the water bodies were better. Go and see. Galamsey started way back 2009, 2000. That's when the water bodies got small.
Right, thank you very much.
The NDC were worried about it.
Thank you.
But they couldn't do anything.
Thank you, Mr.
We fought the challenge. Going forward, what do we do?
Thank you.
Election year, they brought it again.
Thank you, Mr.
When NDC is openly saying...
I'll read a few messages. I'll read a few messages. The viewers must also share their thoughts on the topics that we are discussing. Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm says, good morning, my brother. Truth be told, the issue of this Galamsey is a national genocide on the good people of this country. President Nanado should be held responsible for all that is going on in the country. This was the same president who told us he was ready to put his presidency on the line and fight Galamsey, but the same president turns around to send an LI 2462 to Parliament to be passed to allow mining in our forest reserves. We voted for President Nanado. Kindly, please, I beg you. The viewers want to hear their messages being read. I beg you, respectfully. Right. Let's do some more messages. Good morning, host. Don't be surprised. The baby serpents are always disruptive on every platform they find themselves. They resort to disrupting programs when they find it difficult to defend the scandals and the sins of the ruling government. All right, thank you so much, Ken Williams, for your message. And this one here also says, Bless, Mr. Isi should understand the whole world is watching this program. Interjecting the other panelists makes it boring. Okay, thank you so much for your message. Mr. Isi has heard you. As to whether he will implement it, that is a conversation.
One ABA was
Mr. Isi. I love. Oh, Mr. Isi. Mr. Isi. Please let my uncle know that the MPP yesterday is not the MPP today. Hello. Mr. Isi. It's okay. Please turn off your microphones. Your microphones are off. Your microphones are off, actually. Your microphones are off. Right. Let my uncle know the MPP yesterday is not the MPP today. Nana, address MPP. MPP are all liars, especially our so-called. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your message. Okay. Good morning, Bless. Yesterday on your please, I beg you, Mr. Isi, Alaji, I beg you. Let me read the messages. I beg you. Good morning, Bless. Yesterday on your station, on your sister station, the MPP panelist by the name Helen Deko told us that our rivers are not Mekia as claimed by the populace, which, according to her, we are just and only crying foul. So I humbly want to ask Mr. Isi if that's his party. Mr. Isi, respectfully, I beg you. Please, I beg you. Accord me some respect. As young as I am, I beg you. And the viewers, so please, I beg you, don't interject. I beg you. This one here says that please do not call the text line. I beg you, don't call. Good morning, Bless, and your panelists. My cousin did small-scale mining somewhere in the western region and said they didn't vote against MPP because of the fight against environmental pollution. He said it is because they were chased out and their own pits taken over by government officials who imported Chinese to work for them. Please tell the MPP man to control his interjection when others are driving home their points. Congrats to KOD. Zarepoga from Boga sent this one. All right, thank you very much. We are still having conversations.
Why do we have so many
I beg you.
Why?
Please.
When they were interjecting,
Please, no, wait. Please, let me handle that. Let me. Mr. Isi. Mr. Isi, you were the first person to interject on this today. No, you were the first to interject. So no, wait. I'm not saying it is inconsequential, but gentlemen. Mr. Isi, just as we all just as you express your opinion. Wait. Just as you express Mr. Isi, just as you express your opinion and we may disagree with. No. Yes. But to call them hypocrites. But to call them hypocrites. No. Mr. Isi. If wait. Mr. Isi, people send all manner of messages. I'm coming. Wait. People say wait. Alaji. Mr. Isi, please respectfully. People send messages to this platform and use all manner of words on the panelist here. I see the messages before I read them. So I think it will wait. I think it will be unfair to, I mean, for a platform where I'll sit on and see messages, it will be unfair to criticize a viewer in that manner. You could say no, but he did it constructively. He didn't insult you. He said he's a hypocrite. And no, Mr. AC, no, Mr. AC, no, this no, Mr. AC, no. You see, you may make a point. I'm coming. You may make a point, and a viewer may disagree with you. Wait, you may also make a point, and the same viewer, and the same viewer may agree with you. You understand? So please, I beg you. Would proceed. Please, our time is running out. At 10 a.m. we've closed. I beg you. Mr. AC, respectfully. So right, would continue with the conversation. Please keep your messages coming. I'm apologizing on behalf of Mr. AC for that comment. It came at the spur of the moment, and I'm sure he didn't. And I'm sure he didn't mean it. I'm sure he didn't mean it. Let's proceed. Let's proceed with the conversation. Let's proceed, Mr. AC. Even when me, the moderator of the show, I'm speaking, you interject me, and I think it is not fair. You're interjecting me, yes. Even when I'm speaking, you interject me, and I feel that it's not fair. Please allow me, respectfully, I beg you, Mr. Ramsey. It is not. You know it is not a gang. It is not. Mr. AC. Hey, wait. It is not. You see, interestingly, it is not true, Mr. AC. I'm telling you that it is not deliberate. You know it is not deliberate. After this program, we will not go out and then laugh over this thing. I'm telling the viewers. After this, we'll go out and then laugh over it. Proceed.
I must first and foremost apologize to the viewers as an agent for change on behalf of IEC and all of us.
I disagree with that.
Yes. Okay. Anyways, that is
you are not in any way related to me or my party.
Do not interject.
Please.
If you have the time for
let him say his thing.
No.
He does not right to speak for me.
I see.
He has no right to speak for me.
This is the very
disrespectful.
This is the very issues we
is he my spokesperson?
Wait, Mr. AC.
Please.
This is.
But I can't sit down here for you to insult the people of Ghana.
Who have I insulted?
No, you can't insult the people. Nobody insulted you. Nobody insulted you.
Let's go for a short break.
Anyway, no. Let me speak. I want to speak.
For me.
Fix My Ride Company Limited makes customers feel good and proud. Fix My Ride Company Limited has experts who fix accident cars, making them look like brand new cars. They provide services such as engine tuning, overhauling, body works, oven spraying, air conditioning service, upholstery, electrical works, automatic gearbox repairs, maintenance, and all general car servicing. Fix My Ride Company Limited also has towing cars to tow cars from customers at no cost, as well as giving customers cars to use when their cars are involved in an accident. Thinking about fixing your old car or selling it? Just give us a call. Locate Fix My Ride Company Limited adjacent the Accra Academy School on the Odoko Police Quarters Highway, Atiko Junction, behind the Gold Filling Station, Kadeshi Odoko Highway in Accra. Call us on 0303 944 880 or 020 222 766 08060 or 0540-556020 or visit our website fixmyridegh.com. Fix My Ride. We own the finishing.
Bama na niema wo de agu tro so di nam wiam ye me niema 1212 na me se me twa apesika bi ato me botomu eni se machine o wia so a how much krobia mu same I don't want to tomami.com ka eno so ni den a free classified website a obi bia wo pese wo ton bia say ye car TV fridge fan computer asase kwa na wo pese wo ton a fa to tomami.com eti wonim we nyina na wan kan kire me meye ni den na me so me de ato go eno ane se wo fa mobile phone na wo log in www.tomami.com. Tomami.com. Now we take a picture of item now person will turn. Now we do price. Eshon. Unia, me that's it. Me the niema na ekwa to tomami.com. Tomami.com. A free classified website that we do bia person will turn bia. When you the two of it, show. No bia better. A classic.
Stay refreshed with month. Prepare for hydration.
The law is pertinent to every aspect of our lives, and so lawyers must not be the backup plan for the rainy day only.
Right, welcome back. Tempers have been calmed, and so the show would continue. Before that abrupt break, which was very necessary, by the way, we were having conversation in relation to a cancer that affects every Ghanaian. There are projections that by 2030 we may have to resort to importing water, and so this is not a matter that we have to take lightly. In as much as we may have our personal sentiments and our individual opinions to share on it, the collective goal is that we restore our water bodies back to normalcy. The collective goal is that we restore our environment back to normalcy and not do things at the detriment of our very lives and our very existence as a people. I'll give Dr. Galamsey the opportunity to share his thoughts on this matter. But before I do that, we have moved past the conversation about what caused the fight and everything. So I would not want us to revisit that. Let's move away from it. Thank you very much.
Yes, yes. Before I come in here, I just want to correct certain statements and set the record straight, right? We members of the Movement for Change, right, do not associate ourselves with such kind of lame propaganda propelled by members of the MPP. And that has been espoused by IC here this morning. That Honorable Alan Kojo Tremantin, number one, is a selfish person. And number two, he left because he was going to lose. Let me tell you something. If at all you want to take inspiration to what Honorable Alan Kojo Tremantin did, let's look at the history of Ghana's political landscape. Let's go back to 1949, when Dr. Kwame Nkrumah left the UGCC, of which he helped to grow, right? That the UGCC was living away from its founding principles and values, right? Honorable Alan Kojo Tremantin knows very well that, and I've said that on various platforms, that he owes fealty to the people of Ghana. And the move he made was a legitimate move to ensure that he would not muddy himself and his record and his credibility with a so-called auction. There was no election in the MPP. It was an auction, and the highest bidder was the one that won. And Honorable Alan Kojo Tramante did not want to engage in such repugnant, corrupt acts that today we have seen emanate and influence our governance system in this country. Right. Now, he said that Akufo-Addo promised him that he would be next. Honorable Alan Kojo Tramante did not believe in that promise, first and foremost. He didn't take that promise serious. If IC doesn't know the history of the MPP, he should go and ask of the Young Executive Forum in 1992 that when MPP needed people to finance them, the YEF, which was chaired by Honorable Alan Kojo Tramante, was made up of young, vibrant people during that time that had monies. They were the ones that contributed to the MPP's headquarters today. That today the MPP brags of a headquarters today. They were the people that financed the MPP. So if in 2007 he sacrificed his position for Akufo-Addo to become flag bearer, so if you sit here and you and no, please don't interject me. Please don't interject me. Don't even start, because I've been quiet. I was quiet when you were speaking. Don't interject me. Don't interject me. He sacrificed his position for the love of the party. Then he sacrificed his position. It's on record. 2007. There should have been a runoff.
We lost the election.
In 2007, there should have been a runoff. Is that a fact or is not a fact? Bless. I'm asking, is that a fact or is not a fact? No, I'm asking because he's interjected.
Going to lose.
He did not. Please, I see, don't interject. No, you see, this is all propaganda.
What is propaganda?
He left that opportunity for Akufo-Addo for the love of the party, because of how fragmented the party was. And today, you sit here and you call him a selfish person. I take exception to that, and you have to retract and apologize. Right? If we're talking about anybody who is selfish, it is your president and your flag bearer. They are the most selfish individuals that have come out of the MPP. Talk about Honorable Alan Kojo Tramante. Now, going to Galamsey, we have a president that promised us that he is going to put his presidency on the line in 2016. And when I hear the MPP talk about, refer to the NDC for Galamsey, I don't think these people are serious. The NDC has been in opposition for almost 8 years now. They haven't held their affairs of government. So if we're talking about Galamsey, let's deal with the leadership, the current leadership. In 2016, there was a campaign raged against the presidency of President Mahama on the issue of Galamsey. It came out that yes, indeed, it was found that some stewards in the NDC were also engaging in Galamsey. We all fought against that. We campaigned. Akufo-Addo became president. Today, what do we see? Water production has decreased by 30%. Where Ghana Water Company was producing about, production capacity was about 70%, now has been reduced to 40%. 38 of our forest reserves have been lost due to the anthropogenic activities of illegal miners. Right? Cocoa, our cocoa has lost over 1 billion cedis because 80% of cocoa farming areas have lost their lands, their farmlands, due to illegal mining. Right? And today, 60% of our water bodies have been polluted. And by 2030, we are going to export water if we are not able to import water, if we are not able to curb the issue of Galamsey. And you sit down here and you are trying to defend that the MPP has won the fight against Galamsey. If indeed the president put his presidency on the line, I think it was just a political gimmick. It was just a lip service to the people of Ghana. Because if Akufo-Addo indeed claims that he put his presidency on the line, then I'm calling you, Mr. President, to humbly resign because you have failed. If you spend 300 million Ghana cedis, bless, 300 million Ghana cedis of taxpayers' money to fight the issue, the menace of Galamsey, from Galamsey, Vanguard to Hot 1 and 2. And today, we are stuck with this reality and this result, then it means that the MPP government has failed abruptly. Absolutely, the issue of Galamsey. And let me tell you, Bless, that if nothing is done about this issue, okay, because the Frimpong Boateng report indicated clearly that Akunta Mining, which is owned by a stalwart in the MPP, the Ashanti Regional Chairman, Chairman Wuntumi, who was indicted for mining in our forest reserves by the report, and even the EPA came to vindicate that report, was cleared by the president when he stood on the podium and said that Akunta Mining was not involved in any illegal mining. So if you are a clearing agent, as a president, you turn yourself into a clearing agent, clearing your party stores that are involved. Do you remember the Galamsey tax force that was set under the presidency, in the president, Charles Bisu? Do you remember what happened? The Charles Bisu scandal.
Fat envelopes.
Huh? Charles, the excavators that were seized were rather given to party people to go and mine in these forest reserves. Kejemfua, who is your national women's organizer, is a Galamsey kingpin, a known Galamsey kingpin. And you sit down here and you tell us that you have won the fight against Galamsey. Please, we are not going to buy into that. And you see, because they don't...
Why did I say that?
No, you didn't say.
You are watching him to peddle lies.
No, I'm saying your party. No, I'm saying your party. I'm saying your party. I'm saying, when I refer to you, I say your party. No.
I explained it. So when I get back, I'll let you know.
When I say you, I mean your party. So MPP, I mean MPP. When I say you, I mean your party, because you represent the MPP. Unless otherwise. You understand what I'm saying, Bless? So clearly, the fight against Galamsey has been lost. The president has lost the fight, and he should come out clearly and resign humbly to the people of Ghana. He should resign. That is what we need, because he has lost it. Today we have to suffer as young people coming up, that in the next 5 years, if nothing is done about it, and I want to see a lot of youthful people agitated about this issue, we have to mobilize our numbers and go and ensure that we demonstrate till this government seeks to adhere to our needs. Yes, we can't sit down here and allow the MPP to destroy the future of this country. Right? And today, our hospitals are recording a lot of congenital birth defects as a result of this Galamsey menace. Unborn children unborn kids have to suffer. Our future is suffering because of these activities. And you claim you put your presidency on the line. So if indeed the MPP wants to fight the menace of Galamsey, they should start within themselves. Charity begins at home. Arrest and bring to justice the stores in the MPP, the known kingpins in Galamsey who are members of the MPP and who are using foreigners, especially the Chinese, right, to indulge in illegal mining. The Shamfan machines that you see across the Brim River, the Tunnel River, and then the Kobo plains is as a result of the MPP kingpins financing heavily the menace of Galamsey. So clearly, Bless, the fight has been lost. The MPP should not come and dictate to us how they would even fight, because they have lost the fight. And that's why I keep on saying that we, the people of Ghana, will never take scripture lessons from a drinking bar. You have failed this fight, and there's no way that the people of Ghana should believe in the MPP against the fight for Galamsey. Right. And we are rooting. We are calling for Honorable Alan Kojo Chamantin and the people of Ghana to believe in his candidature as the person who will be able to help solve the issue of Galamsey once and for all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me now come to Alhaji A.B.A. Fuseni. Alhaji.
You see, there's a lot of wisdom in the sayings of our people, and it manifests in real life. See, it is not for nothing that our people say that when you make the hyena the caretaker of your kraal, Don't expect to come and find one animal alive. There's an insatiable appetite for fresh meat. You will consume all the animals. To put Ghana's resources under Nana Akufo-Addo, Dr. Bawumia, Old Highness, don't expect to come and find anything alive, anything normal. So I'm surprised that people are surprised about what is happening. Because this leadership, the current leadership of this country, will mortgage the people of this country to get money to fill their pockets. They have an insatiable appetite for grabbing wealth. That's why they call it property grabbing democracy. You know what that means? Ejapadia and all those other things. They would even sacrifice the lives of your people to get that resources. They have no sense of feeling for the people. Only until it can manifest in more money for them.
We keep people, we cancel allowance. And you have failed.
Today, unprecedented in their countries, in the annals of our country's history.
People work 2 years, you pay them 3 months. You have feelings.
That you have over 20,000 hectares of cocoa farms. I'm not talking about bedding. Cocoa farms where cocoa is planted and harvested. Destroyed. 13 rivers. Horribly polluted and almost of no use. 13 rivers. I'm not talking of streams. 13 major rivers under the watch of Nana Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia. Hundreds of thousands of hectares of farmland destroyed. We are now registering pronounced levels of strange births. People with heads, people with their nostrils turned on their heads, on their occiput. People with 2 fingers. People with their legs walking backwards like dwarfs. Strange births, which medical people have rightly diagnosed to the ramifications of the terrible taste effects we're having from Galamsey. Bless. Today, Ghana is on the risk of being an importer of water, in spite of the fact that Allah Almighty has blessed us with countless water bodies over this country, where we should be a net exporter of water. Under the watch of Nana Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia, they have transformed, transmogrified these beautiful gifts God has given us into disasters for our people. Mr. Clifford Bremer is my very good friend, unfortunately. Listen to him, the managing director of the Ghana Water Company. He was the MPP Northern Regional Secretary before MPP won power. And so he said, die in the wool MPP. But having sat on the seat as the managing director of Ghana Water Company, the man has sleepless nights. Because a company he has also helped in the initial series to try to bring up today is being destroyed by his own party.
Sad.
By his own government. Where today he has lost more than 60% of his capacity to produce water. In fact, by his own testimony and the testimony of his officials, today even the chemicals that they use to purify water have become ineffective. There are some disease in the brim, in the alcobra, in the pra, that the extent of mercury, cyanide, and other things in the water have made the water unusable. No matter the extent of purification, Nigerians will say it is gone beyond repairs. It cannot. So at the time President Akufo-Addo told us that he has put his presidency on the line and that he will fight Galamsey like a menacing lion. In fact, that is the worst time Galamsey has had the opportunity to progress. That is when the turbidity of our waters, the destruction of our farmlands. Bless, if you are not careful, in the next few years, Ghana will be sanctioned, even that our cocoa down. The extent of mineral penetration into our cocoa farms, which manifests in the crops that we produce, are becoming a threat to our cocoa industry. I was just reading the report. They said even in the first half of this year, we lost about $700 million as a result of this Galamsey. Okay? This is at a time a president has told us he put his presidency on the line. So his presidency is even on the line, and we are in such a horrible mess. What will happen if he was not on the line? You can't carry tricks, you are adding locks. This president should have been long gone. And I have said it. In fact, there was a time some of us mooted the idea this president should have been impeached by parliament. Because he has brazenly violated the oath of his office. And that's what Dr. Babia, he has no excuse if he coming anywhere near the presidency. Bless. Today as we speak, many communities in the left and breadth of our country, after those who were fisher folks on the rivers, their lives have been destroyed. Now you can't get a single fish in the 13 rivers that have been so badly polluted. The fish stocks have completely been wiped off. And the ass of Galamsey is so brazen at the Nana Akufo-Addo. Look, there's a video going down where Nana Akufo-Addo said, my tree is not good. Maybe you see, will help me. They said, a bit more round, me Akufo-Addo, he was talking, he was addressing Galamsey. And you know, it means what? That some people are going around saying that Nana Akufo-Addo is going to destroy their Galamsey activities. It is not true. He will not. This is a president of a republic, God of mercy, who has been elected to protect us and protect the natural resources of the country.
Let's stop the lies.
Given, he said it's going on. His own statement.
You see what he said.
His own statement. Okay, so you see this kind of thing. A president who has a bounden duty.
He's doing it deliberately.
Who has a bounden duty to fight the menace. When you are elected president of the republic, you are not elected to please anybody.
When did he make this statement?
You have even accepted that he has made the statement. He has made the statement. I thought you were going to deny that he didn't make that statement. You see, I'm very happy that you are confirming that what I'm saying is true.
This was campaign time.
You see, you are confirming what I'm saying. Okay. That a president for the purposes of votes.
No. He said he was
for the purposes of votes. He said that he is prepared to close his eyes to the destruction of the rivers of this country.
Can you imagine this?
To the destruction of our lands. He is prepared to close his eyes and give them. And you know the philosophy. Go and read Frimpong Boating's. There's a philosophy they call Party Hiansika.
Can you imagine this?
When Professor Frimpong Boating was Minister for Environment, Koiwisi and others, delegated by the party, went to him to tell him that Party Hiansika, that the party needs money to prosecute campaign, and Galamsey is one of the avenues the party should liberate.
The CDD report for 2020
exactly
indicated that.
It's in it.
CDD
so if you have a criminal enterprise, a party projecting a criminal enterprise, the MPP, engaging a criminal enterprise, that party is complicit in the commission of crimes. And what is happening to our country today is worse than a genocide.
Right.
The MPP and its apparatchiks, and he has mentioned them. Now, there are some national officers doing Galamsey, regional chairman doing Galamsey, district chief executives doing Galamsey. Look, our sister, the ambassador to the US, Alima, made it abundantly clear that she knows a lot of MMDCs who are directly participating in Galamsey, doing Galamsey. And indeed, in the Kowishi's issue, when the 700 excavators were brought, they said that 700 of those excavators have been distributed to party apparatus. Can you see it? Why did he over 700 excavators seized and distributed to party activists to go and do Galamsey? under the watch of Nana Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia.
Can you imagine this?
And these people are sitting there as leaders of this country.
How did you fail?
That they can mortgage this country on the altar of their selfish interests because they are beneficiaries of the Galamsey policies that they do. And so they can close their eyes on that one.
The goal for oil policy.
Look,
the goal for oil policy.
In the report that was before the president, the report was with them within more than 3 years. The president never felt
said your people were
okay, and you know why
they use Galamsey proceeds.
Yes, that report was there within more than 3 years. Yes. The president never felt any need to touch it.
The NDC,
why? Because in the among the findings, Akuta mines that he has talked about was given permit to mine in forest reserves. Now we all know
they didn't even have a permit before they started mining.
They indicated that Akuta was mining in forest reserves
illegally.
It was a matter of public record.
They were to do.
And let me correct this impression. Galamsey is already an illegal activity.
Yes.
So you don't even need to ban it. It is already illegal. Yeah. The issue is enforcement. It's not anybody issue a ban. So those who are calling for a ban of Galamsey, they should better rephrase. Is the Nana Akufo-Addo, Dr. Bawumia, they have closed their eyes because they are beneficiaries of their party. People are beneficiaries, and that is why the president will be in a hurry when it is even in a report that Akunta Mane and others are doing this money in forest, and the president is among the first to go down and clear the impression that it is not true. When it is captured in a report, and everybody knows that it's a bona fide fact, uncontested fact. But because they have said party here Sika.
So report is sacrosanct.
Because party here Sika. And the president has accepted party here Sika. Dr. Bawumia has accepted party here Sika. All of them are openly did. So please, let me land on this note. Let me land on this note.
Fantastic.
I want to salute.
Fantastic policy.
Look, among the progressive, I want to salute Nana Otufo Osei-Tutu.
That's it.
I want to salute Nana Osei-Tutu the second.
Certainly.
For the leadership that he has executed.
I gave you time. And you
it's showing.
Please, the time to interfere to my fight. Please, I beg you. The show was supposed to start. I won't have the time. It is not true. It is not true. It is not true. It is not true. I'm not speaking for Katina. I'm not speaking for Katina. Let me land. So I commended Nana Osei-Tutu for showing leadership. That even when some chiefs led themselves to be parties to this despicable act, he has acted. He doesn't have the mandate of the good people of this country to lead this nation, but in his own jurisdiction he has taken action. These are the kinds of progressive nationalist people that want. More importantly, I want to salute Ken Achigbe and the coalition against the media coalition against Galamsey, who have brought together patriots and nationalists to give this fight a life of its own. And to the trade unions, the UTAC, the associations that have now joined up. My last statement is that
they are not committed.
Look, the MPP and Nana Akufo-Addo left on their own. I tell you that they will sacrifice millions of Ghanaian lives for their own personal comfort and well-being. Until Ghanaians all get up, until all Ghanaians stand up to fight, to make sure that they rescue this country from the bankruptcy, selfishness, and greed of the Akufo-Addo government. They will never get the opportunity to go away.
4 months, you pay them 3.
All of them must get up and fight, and I salute all of them. They must get up and make it.
Wicked people. Teachers work and cancel their pay. And you say you can't.
Go for oil policies. You should smuggle Ghana's gold.
Go for oil. Go for
this bankrupt self-seekers. This current bankrupt self-seekers.